Good afternoon. Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lorianne Casdia. Our goal at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower others to fulfilling a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life. So we really should lift each other up and with encouragement and positivity. And we are here, in my belief, to serve each other. And I am driven by a desire to leave the world better than the one we inherited and relish the opportunity to make a difference one person at a time. Our first guest today is Nadine Ianniello. She is from Way to Win Weight Loss. She's an independent authorized ideal protein weight loss clinician, and she is outstanding. She is a wife, a mother of three, a business owner. At 4'11", she truly understands how hard it is to lose weight and to keep it off. And she is an AFAA certified group fitness instructor and personal trainer with 20 plus years experience. She has more energy than I've ever seen in one individual in that great little package that she has, and just an inspiration. And if you ever want someone to inspire you and help you with your nutrition, this is the woman you need to speak to. How are you, Nadine? Welcome.
I'm doing well. Thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you so much for coming on the show. And let's talk about your weight loss program. You are just a bundle of energy. You're always positive. You're always smiling. You're so encouraging. Tell us all about what Ideal Protein is about.
Ideal Protein is a low carbohydrate, moderate protein diet. Our dieters that follow the Ideal Protein method are required to consume 3 Ideal Protein meals per day. With Ideal Protein, we encourage our dieters to also have 4 cups of vegetables a day, which are considered low glycemic. Dieters that follow this program get rapid results. Especially the first week is very exciting. Females lose on average about 6 pounds or more, and my men lose about 10 pounds or more.
Yeah, well, men think about going on a diet and they lose weight. It's amazing.
Yeah, they only have to be 80% compliant, and women, I feel 95% or better. We have to be spot on.
Yeah. It's actually I've never heard you refer to it as a diet before, because it really is a nutritional change in how you look at food, and that's what I see when you're looking at it, when you're teaching it, when you go through the process, you start looking at food differently, and when you go out to eat, you apply these philosophies, and you're not counting points.
No.
You're not weighing your food.
Right.
You're just going through and making good choices. That's what you always say, right?
Absolutely. And again, a diet should be something that is short term. It's to give you the results you want. A diet, you need to have an imbalance in order to lose the weight. But we teach you how to make better lifestyle choices so that when you do lose the weight, well, how do you keep it off? That's where the real work comes in. Most people lose the weight because you have a piece of paper and says, follow this, this, and this. We're all great with that. Well, what happens when you're done and you walk into a grocery store? It becomes, a fun for all, or you can't pull back. Some of our dieters do struggle with losing weight because they tend to go to a lot of parties. And on Long Island here, I have a lot of boaters. And every weekend they just really blow it out of the park. So for me, encouraging my diet is I say, listen, things are black, things are white. If we can find the gray area in between that works with your lifestyle, and you can make the best choice that you can with what's available, well, what other way is there to lose weight? And a lot of things we talk about is self-sabotage. Why would you pick up that food? Why don't you love yourself enough to choose yourself versus the food? So sometimes that can be a psychological factor in that as well.
I could definitely see that. I also see that we're habitual. And so,
Absolutely.
On the 4th of July, we eat hamburgers and hot dogs, and we're used to certain foods. And now we have to make different choices.
Right.
Again, those choices being for ourselves to feel better and look better. And I have to tell you, as much as I love my carbs, the energy, the difference is ridiculously amazing.
Absolutely.
And now when I do eat carbs, I feel awful, and it is ridiculously obvious to me, the difference before doing it, and you eventually just don't want to make those choices anymore.
Right.
It becomes easier because you can feel the difference.
Absolutely.
My energy goes down, my whole body feels different.
Yeah.
I feel really lethargic.
Absolutely.
And when I don't, I'm good. And they're easy choices too. They really are.
Well, carbohydrates also are vegetables. Most people think carbohydrates are just flour, pasta, bread type of things.
Right.
Fruit and vegetables are carbohydrates as well. So when we talk about carbs, well, why does it make us tired? So I'm going to talk a little bit about carbohydrates and how it plays a role in our body. All carbohydrates that we consume, whether it's a fruit source, a flour source, man-made, they all have to convert over to glucose or sugar. So let's say, for instance, if you had a medium ripe banana, the conversion on that would be 9 teaspoons of sugar. If you had one slice of pizza, the conversion would be that 9 teaspoons of sugar. Or 1 can of Coke is 10 teaspoons of sugar. So the body doesn't really care where that sugar is coming from, whether it's naturally occurring, flour-made, or man-made. What happens is the pancreas has to come on board in response to all carbohydrates that we consume. So with Ideal Protein, we say it's all about insulin. Insulin is a hormone in our body. Every time insulin levels need to be produced, what happens is insulin's role is to decrease blood sugar levels and also promote fat storage. With Ideal Protein, we give you protein. We also encourage you to eat your vegetables, but they're all low glycemic. What that means is that if we can keep insulin levels down, everything that you're eating gets burnt off for fuel, and anything that is stored fat on your body gets burnt off for fuel. So I do have a lot of people that come in that are very particular. They're encouraged by their gym trainers to have, shakes with bananas.
Right.
Well, there's no possible way you can lose weight if insulin levels are up. That is just a fact. That is just a function of our body.
Right.
And again, being an aerobics instructor for 20 years, teaching 12 or more classes a week, I was feeling pretty beaten up until I really found the relationship between food and actually changing my body.
Now you brought something up. I'm just going to go off
Sure.
course for 1 second, but you're a pro figure bodybuilder.
Yes.
Talk to me about that. That is just totally amazing. When I saw that picture, and it's on your website,
Yep.
it's way to win.
Weightloss.com.
Weightloss.com, yeah. So tell me about that. That is just amazing.
So as a child, I was a gymnast. And I hurt my back. So then I started getting into aerobics back in the 80s. You remember with the leg warmers and all of that. Jane Fonda, that was like the greatest. So I became an instructor because I was frustrated that people couldn't carry on routines, these instructors, to music. So then I became an instructor, got certified in everything in creation. But I still had a couple of pounds I couldn't lose, and I thought I took on more classes and would sweat more. So I met this trainer. His name is Joan DeFontis, and he started training me at a local gym here on Long Island. And I could see changes in my body within 2 months. All of a sudden, my legs started having a shape. My owner or my boss from another gym told me I had to make a choice, and I decided to choose myself and go with my trainer. Within a year and a half, my trainer got me on stage. My first show, I didn't do too well, but we knew what I had to clean up. Second show, I won my first show. And my third show was when I won my pro card. I won my high class. I'm 4'11". And then I had to do a pose down that night. Getting my body fat down to about 10%, understanding what foods cause me to hold water, what carbohydrates to eliminate, and I could see that on a daily basis. So within 2 years, at the age of 49, stepping on stage with women half my age, I won my pro card. So
Amazing.
That was, So we did 8 shows in 5 years. I'm a little bit tired. Now I'm 55. But now I'm choosing to train a little bit differently, a little bit smarter.
Okay.
But it was definitely quite an accomplishment at that age.
Absolutely.
People told me I couldn't do it. People told me, well, people that are pro cards, or people that are going to be models, you need to be 5'4", 5'5". They're looking for someone with longer legs, and all of that. And I was always a person that if you told me I couldn't do something, somebody said, well, how are you going to compete? Yeah. Your thighs are big. And so for me, that was the fire underneath me. If you can't tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yeah, no, I get that. We have that in common with each other. I could see you doing that. You're like, oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me I just couldn't do that, did you? There's no such thing. And I can tell that from you, from the sheer way of how you interact with your clients and how you are just gangbusters and you take away their excuses. There are no excuses. There's, okay, so this is your problem, then do that. This is your problem. Okay, this is your challenge, then do X.
Right.
And I love that positivity that you have. And that comes from the, don't tell me I can't do something,
Absolutely.
I think, point of view. Right. You are listening to Healthy Lifestyle on Long Island News Radio 103.9. I am Lori-Ann Casdia, and we are speaking to Nadine from Way to Win Weight Loss. That's not easy to say. That's almost like a tongue twister.
It is.
So if somebody wants to find you to get more information about this, where would they go?
Well, they can go to our website. It's waytowinweightloss.com. They can call our office as well. It's 631-476-4051. Or they can email us at waytowinweightloss@gmail.com.
Perfect. So now you, like many people out there, you're balancing being a wife, being a mom, you're a business owner, you're really encouraging people to lose weight, which is exciting, the results that you get. How do you balance all this, Nadine?
A lot of it is delegation. I no longer ask the boys in my house, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? I tell them, this is what you need to do. That's what you need to do. And this is when I need it done. I also, scheduling is very important. I do walk around with an appointment book, markers, red pens. When I leave the house, there's notes for whoever on the table, but I definitely have to schedule things. I love Amazon. They deliver.
Oh, my gosh,
anything and everything I can have delivered to my house, I will have delivered. So that definitely can be a challenge. And I find that if I take better care of myself and I'm more organized, the better everybody else is. Because if I'm happy, it seems that everybody else is happy. And if I'm in control, I feel like life is in control for me.
Yeah, I love that. And that goes back to ideal protein. Mm-hmm. When you're happy and you're feeling good because the food's making you feel good,
right.
You're in a better control. It creates a better environment, don't you find?
Right. Most people say it's the best they've ever felt.
Yeah.
And sometimes situations in your life challenges, can put you in a situation where you're really struggling with eating right. But most people say, I powered through it. And even though I wanted that slice of pizza, I had the chicken. I didn't really want it. But then once I ate it, I was fine. And then I felt so amazing that I made this great choice. And then they say to me what's really fulfilling, and I help them with different suggestions and ideas. One woman said to me, there's nothing that you can buy me in the mall that can make me feel as good as this feels.
Nice.
I had, and just taking that back, I had one of my dieters 3 years ago, and people tell me some of the challenges that they have with losing weight. Sometimes it's their health. They want to come off medications.
Yeah.
I had one woman that all she wanted to do was get on an airplane and walk the aisles and be able to sit comfortably in her seat. She had lost 50-something pounds.
Nice.
And her husband, as a gift for her, they took a quick flight right here from Islip Airport into Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland. And when they came back, her family and friends were in the parking lot with a tailgate party for her because they were so excited for her.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's to
great.
me, so a lot of people have different stories why they want to lose weight. It could be many different things. Again, it could be coming off medications, feeling better, increased energy. Overall, what you see in the mirror, how you look, things like that. We are driven as a society. How we appear and how we look is more important
than who we are. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it negatively affects your personal opinion of yourself, and that affects everything else during your day.
Right.
So that's a good step, and it's easy to do. It really is. Take us through a day. I know I understand the foods that you have to eat and things like that. But what can you eat? You said 4 cups of vegetables. That's a lot of vegetables.
Right. So a typical day on Ideal Protein would be you would choose one of our breakfasts. Maybe it is oatmeal. You can have a cup of coffee. You can have milk with it, regular
Thank God.
whole milk. One of the things we encourage our diet is to start removing all that artificial sugar. Artificial sugar will cause a spike in insulin, therefore you won't lose any weight. Lunch you would choose.
Can you do things like almond milk or
no almond milk?
soy milk?
Soy milk, as long as there's no sugar in it at all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then lunch, maybe you choose one of our foods, which may be chili, pasta. You would have 2 cups of vegetables. Maybe it might be broccoli and cauliflower with lunch. And then during the evening, you're allowed to have up to 8 ounces. 8 ounces is the maximum of whole protein, meaning, your chicken, your turkey, fish, seafood, plus 2 cups of additional vegetables. They can be salads. They can be, mushrooms, asparagus, things like that. And then at night, a healthy choice of one of our snacks, whether it's a bar, a shake, things like that.
Yeah, the chili is outrageous.
Chili
it's so
is
good.
great. Yeah.
Chili is good. The bars are really good. The chocolate crisp or the vanilla one.
Yeah.
They both are like, what are they called with the marshmallow?
Oh, the Rice
Krispie
treats.
treats.
Oh, yeah.
They're like that.
Absolutely.
They're just
absolutely.
like that. I was having one and I was like, oh my God, the vanilla tastes like a Rice Krispie
Absolutely.
treat. I save that at night. It's like my special
Yep.
treat.
And I have to say congratulations to Lorianne. She has lost 25 pounds and has kept it off for quite so many months.
Oh, thank you.
And the big thing that I find is some people will come in, they will lose the weight, but they're not willing to put in the time and effort to maintain that weight loss.
It's not easy.
It's not
thank
easy.
you.
Congratulations to you
Thank
for
you.
really putting your life ahead and how you feel. You look amazing.
Thank you very much. And it's exciting because I got a whole new wardrobe back because I'm able
Yeah.
to fit in clothes I haven't been able to fit in a
I
while.
know.
And the ones that I was wearing, I'm starting to swim in them and I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm still going. I'm going,
Beautiful.
going hard. Although I haven't been really clean the last couple of weeks because I've taken a bit of a break, but I still find myself and I notice the difference in my energy. I notice the difference in just how I feel. I notice the difference in my sleep. I sleep better. I'm not a calorie counter. I've never been a calorie counter. Weight Watchers was never successful for me because you had to do the points and it made you think about food all the time. This does not.
Well, you know what? I don't want to talk badly about any other weight loss programs. It's not all about the calories. It's about keeping insulin levels down. So if you're having enough, healthy sources of protein, you're having enough healthy vegetables, therefore you don't have to count anything. Points and all that can be very all-consuming.
Yeah, I mean, that works for some people. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Weight Watchers works for a lot of people, obviously, and other plans work for other people. This is a good plan for someone like
Absolutely,
myself. I do not respond well, and as soon as you use the D word, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden I start craving things. I don't really care for chocolate anymore, which is odd because it used to be my favorite. I'm not really a chocolate eater anymore.
Right.
You tell me I'm on a diet, I'm like, I need a chocolate bar. What? I don't know. It's irrational.
Right.
Totally irrational.
And again, that's because the body has released ketones, which is a natural appetite suppressant. And ketones are only readily available when insulin levels are down.
Well, it's a really, really good program to go through. You are amazing. You're a great coach. That's why I've been successful, because of your spirit. Your whole staff is wonderful.
Thank you.
Everybody, keeps the flags waving, and you need that. You need that group of people behind you, that community behind you, helping you through the process. And that's not always family members, because sometimes family members inadvertently, they mean well, but sometimes they sabotage.
Sure, absolutely.
So having your team behind you and being able to text you whenever I need, when I have a question, can I eat this? And it's usually no.
7 days a week. Yep. My cell phone is open and available to my dietist. So if they're ever stuck in a moment, I can figure out how to fix it for them.
Yeah, and you're so good about that, and you're lenient. I love that. You're like, well, if you want, but do this instead to offset it. I love the options you give us, and you teach us so that when you're not around, we can actually solve those problems. And if we do need you, I do text you, but that's okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you for letting me do that. One more time, how can they get in touch with you, Nadine?
Okay, you can reach us through our website at waytowinweightloss.com. You can give us a call at 631-476-4051, or you can email me at waytowinweightloss@gmail.com.
And the way to win is way as in your weight, WEIGH, to win, TOWIN, weight loss, WEIGHT loss and that will get you right to her. Please, please, please give her a call if you're interested in this, finding out more information. Nadine, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's my pleasure. I'm sure I'll have you back because you have other really intuitive things to tell us.
Beautiful.
I am Lori-Ann Casdia. We will be right back with our next guest. You are listening to Healthy Lifestyle. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori-Ann. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas on topics you'd like to hear more about, please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. That's healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. Or you can follow us on social media, which we would love to have you there, at Healthy Lifestyle with LA, and we will definitely follow you back. So give it a nice follow. So the second part of our show today, we are with Craig Colasanti. He is one of 50 people in the world certified by Dr. Joe Vitale as an advanced Ho'oponopono healer and mentor. He can tell me if I mangled that too badly later. You can stop laughing now, Craig. Craig is also a certified radical change coach under Dr. Mary Oz, and he specializes in helping to radically improve relationships that are struggling. Craig is also one of the hosts of the Feel Good Show with Rich and Craig, which airs every week on Voice America TV. Craig's mission is to bring the amazing message of
Ho'oponopono.
There you go. To all of Long Island. I really cheaped out by making you do that. And the world, to help people quickly and painlessly live their most amazing lives. We are definitely on the same track with that. So welcome.
Well, thank you for having me, Lori. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, it's just a pleasure to have you here. And I'm so excited. I can't even say it, but I want to do it. So
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono.
Yeah.
So, tell us what that is.
Okay, so Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian healing modality that was used for hundreds and hundreds of years in Hawaii without it ever leaving Hawaii. So it was kind of a quiet, kept secret in Hawaii. Right. And it was done for families. Families would get together, and the father would host the family, and they'd air out their differences over a dinner table, and the father would decide, okay, here's how we're going to fix this. Here's how we're going to make this better. And then this wonderful woman, Mona Simeona, who was a true kahuna, true healer in Hawaii, took it to the next level. And she said, if this can heal families, why don't we put it out to the masses so we can heal anybody and everybody?
Nice.
So she rearranged it to make it more easy to use with everybody. Instead of just a family setting, she created a program. She started teaching it, and she was an amazing healer. Now, this guy, Dr. Hugh Len, who was a psychiatrist, had heard about her. Right. And Dr. Hugh Len's daughter had a skin problem, a skin disease. Went to every doctor in the world, couldn't figure it out. Nobody could heal her. He got in touch with Mona Simeona. She came, and she healed his daughter through Ho'oponopono.
Oh, wow.
And he was so intrigued by that he went on to follow her. And it's funny because if you listen to him talk, he said the first 4 or 5 times he went to her seminar, he walked out. He thought she was just crazy. So he left, and he just couldn't wrap his head around it. 5th or 6th time, he finally started to understand it. And then he has now taken it from Mona. Mona passed away, unfortunately. And he has taken it. And Dr. Hugh Len, back in, I believe it was the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, was hired at the Hawaii State Hospital to work in a psychiatric ward where criminally insane patients were, and hundreds of criminally insane patients. He agreed to take that job because they ran out of, so many doctors would no longer work there because it was violent.
Right.
He never saw a patient one-on-one, and he cured the entire ward. 4 years later, that ward closed.
Wow.
And he cured them through Ho'oponopono.
Well, so let's back up and bring it down to a level of people not knowing anything about it. What is it? What do you have to do? What does it do for you? Because I understand the family healing.
Right.
How do I use that as an individual?
So now it's it's been brought down, and then Dr. Joe Vitale met with Dr. Hugh Lin, and Dr. Vitale has now brought it out to the masses. He wrote 2 books, great books, one called Zero Limits and one called At Zero. If you get a chance to read them, phenomenal books about Ho'oponopono.
So say that again, Zero Limits.
Zero Limits and At Zero. So Zero Limits he wrote with Hugh Lin, and At Zero he wrote by himself. But it'll explain it. But anyway, basically what Ho'oponopono is 4 phrases. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And all you have to do is repeat those 4 phrases over and over and over. Just put it in your mind, constantly say it. And what it does basically, without getting too deep, because there's advanced forms of Ho'oponopono, but the simplest thing you need to know are those 4 phrases. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you.
Okay.
Say those over and over. And basically what it does is our worst enemy are our memory, right? Everything we have is memory or thoughts, right? Our thoughts and memory, thoughts create emotions create actions, right?
Sure.
So what we do with all our ugly emotions through Ho'oponopono is erase them.
As opposed to push them down.
As opposed to suppressing them and keeping them hidden, because eventually they're going to come up. So I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you actually activates something between your conscious and your subconscious that will clear those ugly memories for you. And then it's just like if you had a computer that you had too much information on the computer, right? You could no longer put anything on. You're going to defrag that computer.
Sure, to create more space. So
Absolutely.
We need to create more space for positive things as opposed to negative things.
Exactly. So what we're doing is freeing up our space so that divinity, God, universe, however you want to call it, can then send us inspiration. And then we come from inspiration. We don't come from memory anymore. And the world just lightens up. It just does. And there's miracles happening left and right with this Ho'oponopono.
So for me, this is reminiscent of looking at the 2 sides. So we have an ego side and we have an observer side. And for me, this sounds like you're taking yourself out of the ego side, you're putting yourself in the observer side, you're forgiving them, you're forgiving yourself, and you're moving on. Is that similar?
That's a good way to put it. Your ego, to me, is edging God out. So that's ego, right?
That's nice.
So
I like that.
Yeah. So what we do when we can take full responsibility for everything in our lives, right? When you become 100% responsible for everything, the bad, the good, the ugly, everything, you can clear those responsibilities through Ho'oponopono.
Right.
And then everything gets pushed out of the way. And then inspiration can come in. And then when you act on that inspiration, you're acting from a place of divinity. Yeah. And nothing could be stronger in your life that way. And then when you start clearing up all of the garbage, there's room for inspiration to come in.
That's true. Yeah. You're opening up a door for it to come in.
I mean, I speak with so many people that like, my mind is constantly yappy dogging.
I call it white noise.
Right, white noise.
Yeah. There's always chatter in the head.
The first thing I do is I teach them the 4 phrases, and I say, when that chatter comes in, instead of listening to that chatter, just repeat the 4 phrases. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And the chatter starts to quiet, and the love starts to rise.
Right.
And then we come from a place of that, love and inspiration instead of ego and chatter.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
We're all bogged down by that chatter. So many people can barely function during the day because there's so much chatter going on.
Yeah.
And that causes anxiety and stress and all that. Let's get rid of it once and for all. And this is what I've found to be one of the simplest and easiest ways to do it. That's what I love about it. Anybody can do it, anytime, anywhere. You don't have to do it out loud. You can do it to yourself.
Right.
So I don't even listen to the radio anymore in the car because I'm constantly Ho'oponopono.
Yeah, I don't recommend that. I'm just saying that to my listeners who listen to the radio as much
always
as possible. We
listen to the
appreciate that. No, I'm only kidding. No, I do that with the news. I used to be a news junkie, right. And now I watch certain things when I need to.
Yeah.
But I don't have that fixation where I have to hear it because it was all negative and
it's depressing.
It was really starting my day very badly, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So it's really changing a camera lens. And I'll go back to, I know my listeners, if you've been following me for a while, I know you've heard this before, so bear with me. But I met this young man who was in the Army. He's back. He's a veteran. He's a wonderful person. He's now a financial advisor. He's in Melville, and best uplifting man I've ever seen, and he lost both his legs and the functionality of one arm. He can use it, but not as well as we all can. And he went through so much.
Right.
Yet he's the most uplifting man I've ever seen. And I finally said, how is this possible? Yeah. And he looked at me and he goes, Lorianne, I found something when I was in the hospital recovering from losing both my legs. He said, you can't be angry and grateful at the same time, and I choose gratitude. And I was just totally, I get goosebumps when I say it every time. I was totally amazed, and it has changed my life because I look at it and go, you're right. You can't be angry and grateful at the same time. So when you're saying, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, you can't have those other thoughts. Your ego can't get in the way because your observer is pushing the ego aside, and you are on the godly side, the universal side that opens you up to that positivity.
Absolutely. And you're coming from a place of soul. That's your soul, your inner child, whatever you want to call it, your subconscious. So what we do is just constantly erase the bad. So we're constantly getting rid of all the programs that we've been taught. So now
they're like tapes.
They're tapes.
Yeah.
Not only that, we run into so many different people every day, and we're all one. So I meet Lori, and now I take on what Lori has. So I have to constantly clean and clear. We call it cleaning and clearing.
Right.
It's I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. So that I don't take on all that stuff all the time. I think you and I were speaking earlier, and you said, I took on a lot at one point.
Yeah.
And you'll get physically ill from that.
Yeah, I was getting ill from it because I was owning other people's stuff, and it wasn't my stuff.
It's not.
And I'll own my own, but I'm not going to own everybody's anymore. It's not healthy to do that.
Absolutely.
And I think by doing that, it just bogs you down, and that's why you get sick.
I agree.
Because you're bringing in all that negativity, and that's why I try to push negativity out and stay very positive and have people like yourself teaching us things like this, which gives us tools to be able to handle, because there are going to be, I was interacting with somebody recently who has just a very negative way of looking at life, and that's just the way he operates, and that's the way he will continue to operate until he chooses otherwise. But I need to interact with them.
Right.
But I don't want to take that on. And I find myself going in that direction. I'm like, wait, no, put the brakes on.
Yeah.
This, I think, will help.
Yeah.
So you do this. How do we put this into effect? Wait, before you answer that, I just want to say you are listening to Healthy Lifestyle on Long Island News Radio 103.9. I am Lori Ann Casdia, and we are speaking to Craig Colasanti. He is telling us all about I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And it's called
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono. If I say it enough, Craig, I will get it right. So how do we do this? We merely just, when we feel ourselves getting in that place, we cleanse. You talked about clearing your space.
It's called cleaning and clearing. That's the words we use, because what you're really doing is cleaning the programs that we're all filled with, right? And you're cleaning the negative programs. So all I do all day long is I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Now, there are advanced things. There are different prayers that Mona has left us for healings and things like that I do, or house clearings and things like that. But the basics of Ho'oponopono, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, will change your life. Just saying those 4 phrases. You could say them any way you want.
Is that like in lieu of counting to 10 before you get angry, before you respond to something?
Some people do it that way, but this, what I love you does, is really, it's part of repentance, part of forgiveness, and part of that. So when you say those 4 phrases, you're actually making your conscious connect with your subconscious to clear a program in your superconscious. So it's really amazing. And that's right to divinity.
And there's an element of spirituality.
Yeah, there's a total big element of spirituality. And we're in an ever-growing universe. The cosmos are ever-growing. We're ever-growing. We're ever taking on things. So you want to keep it as clean and get back to what they call zero. At zero. You want to be at zero so that you can have, do, and be anything you want in this world. But with all that junk, you'll never get there.
Well, there's a lot of voices in your head saying no, and all that chatter going, you can't, and you can do anything you want. Absolutely. I mean, Nadine was just saying at 49, she won the weightlifting awards and or the bodybuilding rather award, and that's a absolute you can. I was speaking to someone and they said recently, and they said to me, "Oh, I really wish I could do insert the topic here," and I said, "Well, why can't you?" "I'm too old." I was like, "No, stop yourself. You're never too old. Look at me. I'm doing this crazy stuff now, and I just started golfing. I just started motorcycle riding. I just started trying all these new things because I wanted to, but age never came into play. It was, let's do it.
That's fantastic, because most people stop. They'll hear a doctor say you're too old, or you have arthritis, or you have this. Clean it, clear it. You can heal yourself. You can do so many things in this life. And this is what I love about science. Science just came up with, for us to occupy these physical bodies, right? Because we were spiritual entities first. Then we occupy these physical bodies. The chance of us becoming human is 1 in 400 400 trillion.
Now, what does that mean, the chance of being human?
In other words, you're human, right?
Yeah.
You came into this world. You were spiritually connected enough to say, I want to occupy a body.
Right.
Instead of, I want to be a dog. I want to be a piece of seaweed.
Right.
I want to come back to this planet as something else. You came back as a human being. So to get to that point where we are the head of the food chain and all that, it's 1 in 400 trillion.
Wow.
So if you're 1 in 400 trillion, why don't you make the best of your life? Why don't you live life to the fullest? Because you are one of your chances of becoming human are less than winning lotto.
Yeah.
So if you're now here, do the best you can with it. Why live angry? Why live in a negative state? Be positive. And Ho'oponopono to me is the quickest and easiest way to get into that state.
I love it.
You know, state changing and just changing your thought process. We know all about that, but people ask me all the time, why are you so interested? I go, because it's so simple.
Yeah.
Say 4 phrases. Even when you feel good, say 4 phrases, and things get even better. We were just working with a woman from the UK, and she had a lot of things going on with her children and social services and everything. She Ho'oponopono for a week straight, and everything went right for her. She's just blown away by it. She was like, oh my God, I cannot believe the results in 1 week. You know?
Yeah.
And all she did was Ho'oponopono. She didn't call lawyers. She didn't get people involved. She just Ho'oponoponoed on the feeling she was having about what was going on. And everything changed for her. They left the kids alone. She's back to a great place.
Oh, great.
She's happy. And to hear her voice 1 week down and blah, blah, blah. And then the next week I hear her, oh my God. And all she learned was those 4 phrases.
Yeah, it brings in what I'm told as white light.
Right.
And your white light is what
Absolutely.
emanates off of you. And that white light gets bigger and bigger and the more positive you are, the bigger it is. And you just find that goodness comes into your life. Good people come into your life, and the people who aren't really focused in a good place seem to just drift away. They seem to just go away.
Absolutely.
Not by anything that you've done, just by you see that the importance isn't there. I also look at things as taking a few minutes at a time. And if you look at a few minutes at a time, it's more palatable. You can handle it better. That noise goes away in your head. And when you do the Ho'oponopono, darn it. When you say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. It really does stop everything and bring things back into focus.
Right. Keeps you in that light.
Yeah, it changes. I refer to camera lenses. Right. I used to have one camera lens, and it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, and this is going to go wrong, and that's exactly what transpired. Now I look at it from a different place. I'm grateful I have what I have. I love being with the people I'm with, and I keep getting people that come into my life like yourself who are just brilliantly vibrant with white light, and I'm just like, oh, I want to spend more time with people like that. So our time is short here. We need to make the best of it. We need to contribute back to the world. I'm a big believer in giving back. I really believe we're here to serve other people, and how best to serve other people, but from a place of being positive and grateful. And this is what you do. You're a coach, right?
Yeah, I'm a coach, and I just absolutely love it because I see results quickly, and I see people that are, where you're at now. They're finally getting it, and they're loving life from a really negative perspective to a positive perspective, and it happens quickly. That's what I love about it. We start with Ho'oponopono, we clean it up, and then we act on our inspiration, and that really changes people's lives. And
you're someone who overcame a lot of personal challenges, and look at you, are this positive, wonderful, smiling beacon that is just the opposite of the traumas that you came from. So you worked through it.
I had some real heavy trauma. I won't get into it, but really heavy childhood traumas and things that really could have set me off on a bad course. And I was just so fortunate to have a desire to change that negativity in my life. And then things like, there are no coincidences.
No.
There are no coincidences. It's all synchronicity. Like you and I met today for a reason.
Yes.
We're meeting today. I'm going to learn a lot from you. You know
and
what
vice
I mean?
versa.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
So the
first
reason,
is to say this.
So many people struggle with Ho'oponopono. So many people.
Pono.
Yeah, it's a Hawaiian word. It's different, so.
It couldn't have been like salami.
Exactly.
I would have been able to get that right off the
nice easy one.
I know, really. You're not helping me here, Craig.
So.
And you have acting, directing, and writing in your background too.
Yeah. What a blessing that was in my life. I was law enforcement. When I retired, I ended up going
Thank you for that.
Thank you. And I ended up going back to college at a late age in my life.
See?
And I I needed a class, just a fill-in class. So I took a theater class and absolutely fell in love with it. So I finished up my theater degree, and then I went to a 2-year acting conservatory in Manhattan. And one thing led to another. I met another actor there. We opened up a small production company. We do independent films. It's just, I do a play in the city every week.
Look at you.
Amazing. Yeah, life just is great. It's just great.
It's good. And it goes back to?
I attribute a lot of it to Ho'oponopono. I really do, because it's just gotten me to this point in life where I'm just always happy. I don't even get angry anymore.
That's great. No, that's great. And you've seen a lot through the job you had and the traumas that you've incurred, and I get it. So we're gonna get to zero. That's what we're gonna.
Absolutely, we want to go back to zero. We want that whiteboard, that clean slate.
I really am such an advocate for this. I am so excited to be learning about this, and I want to learn from you. It's so nice to meet you. Will you come back? Please,
absolutely,
please.
I'll come on anytime. And thank you for promoting it, and thank you for having me. This is amazing.
We need to let everybody.
This is how the word gets out.
Yeah, we need to get the word out, and we need more people doing this.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. It's amazing.
How can somebody get to you real quick?
My name, Craig Colasanti 11 at Gmail. That's CraigColasanti 11 at gmail.com, or 516-860-7889. And if I don't pick up, you have to leave me a message, because I'm on conference calls all day long.
Or you can reach us at the social media at Healthy Lifestyle with LA. We'll definitely get you in touch with him. Remember, do a little something for yourself every day. It starts here. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Remember to do something for yourself. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be something for you. Just a little something. Create the habit, create the new balance, create the new norm. Thank you so much for joining us on Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Ann. Until next time, show up for you and show up big.